Hey yo, what up, what up, what up, fans of the sport? What up? Fans of the fucking sport. What's the deal? Hey, so um this video is a couple days late, right? But hey, you know how that goes. Shit happens, right? I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about that fight card from the other night. Mixed reaction. I think the fight card had some high points and some definitely some low points to it, and we're gonna talk about both. Um, I guess first we'll be starting with kind of a low point. Low point for me. Low point for me. Um, what am I talking about? The fight with it was Delakian, the UKR guy, right? I want people to actually see the video, so I'm not gonna, for whatever reason, we can't say the name of this particular country, so I'm not going to. But the UKR, that one, blue and yellow guys. So that's where Delakian's from, right? And he's fighting against a guy from Costa Rica named Jimenez. I sat there and watched this fight. And I watched Jimenez basically beat Delakian to every punch. Every exchange Jimenez won, right? I think it was a 10 rounder. Or was it 12? Out of 12 rounds, I gave Jimenez 9 of them, right? I gave Delakian maybe 3 rounds. That's pushing. Like, Delakian looked like he hadn't fought in some time. And the reason why he looked like that is because he hadn't fought in some time. Like, he was over there doing the UKR thing, when they had their little pie throwing contest with that other country, right? The rustic right? But anyway, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this, but that fight was fixed, man. Like, there's no way Delakian won that fight. No way in hell Delakian won that fight. He just didn't. He didn't win. It was complete bullshit. And I'm starting to notice a pattern with fighters from this country, this particular country. The Ukraets, Ukraine, the country that's getting all of our money these days. It doesn't seem like they can't lose a decision. Like, in order to get a decision against one of those guys right now, you're gonna have to knock one of them out. Like that, it seems like that's the only play. Hang on one second. Yeah, so Delakian, I can't believe they gave Delakian that fight, man. That was bullshit. He did nothing. He basically did nothing the whole fight. I'm not even gonna go down this whole card. I'll just touch on a couple things, maybe give a sentence or two. The Itama versus Moderna fight. Man, Moderna couldn't miss with the right hand, and Itama He's not the right Atama, it looks like. I thought he looked terrible. One thing I want to say about Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, I think those guys are fantastic in the booth, man. Like, they are, those two guys, like, they work well together. Tim Bradley and Andre Ward have a very very good team in that booth. One thing that I like about top ranked cards feel like they're the adult in the room. Like, you're not gonna see, even though this wasn't technically a top ranked card, but I guess what I'm talking about is even how they commentate the fight. You're just not gonna see a lot of favoritism, a lot of, like, the top ranked guys, like, they're picking Bivol to beat Beterbiev. Like, Bivol is he's a matchroom guy, right? So they're not just towing the company line, they're not doing that. So I gotta give them props. The Moses Atama fight was fixed. That's the fight that we saw that ended in like 20 seconds or some shit like that. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, Moses Atama threw a right hand, the guy blocked it. It didn't get through, and he just went down. It reminded me of one of those, Jesus Christ, man. It reminded me of one of those Deontay Wilder knockouts, right? So, no, I didn't believe in the Moses Atama. We're going to have to see what he does in his next fight, right? Just waiting for the meter to stop. To stop fucking running. Like, how much is gas these days, man? Be right back. So, yeah, Moses Atama, that fight, I don't believe in that. I think when his brother lost, I think they put him in, they did everything that they had to do to protect him. That's what I believe. The guy blocked the shot, and they're saying he got knocked out in 20 seconds, like one shot. Like, no. The Beterbiev versus Yard fight, I spoke on this the other day, because I had to go live pretty much immediately once I saw the fight. I thought it was excellent fight for as long as it lasted. That fight was just a very entertaining fight. Here's what I'll say though, because I've had a chance to watch it again. I know I had a first reaction to it, right? And the first reaction to it was, hey, this was a great fight. Now, my second reaction to it, I still think it was a great fight, but one thing that I know is that Beterbiev was never hurt in that fight. Now that we saw what he was doing, we saw his tactic, right? We also gotta just chalk it up that he was never like Anthony Yard never had him hurt, right? He made it look like he was hurt. He stumbled, he do a little dance back to the rope, and he did it like, it's like if it happens one or two times, okay, you can say maybe it was real, but every time it looked like Yard hit him with something, he would overreact. He, being Beterbiev, would overreact to it, right? Like he was hurt. Take a few steps backwards, and Anthony Yard would chase him into the corner every single time and run into an ambush. He would get ambushed with a quick right hand. Like, he can, and the reason why he can ambush, because he's not cocking back. Beterbiev don't do no cocking back, man. Everything is coming from right there. He throws those short, mean punches that you're not really expecting, and he can generate a lot of power from there too. Like, he doesn't have to cock back with it to hurt you. He can throw it right there from the hip, right? And get you hurt. And he did that to Yard about 4 times in that fight, right? You would think that Tunde Ajayi would say, hey, look, when you hit him with something, you need to stop chasing him into the corner or stop chasing him to the ropes because he's ambushing you. That advice never came. He kept running into the same trap, right? So knowing that, how can I say, oh, Yard had him hurt? And he never really had him hurt. He got suckered. He basically got suckered, right? So all in all, still was a great fight. Like Yard, he never backed down. He, no matter what Beterbiev was throwing, Yard was throwing back. You know, his punches were not, nearly as accurate as Beterbiev's, but I mean, not many people's are. And so I'm gonna get off that fight because we already know what happened. It's a couple days old now. We know what happened in that fight. What I'm moving on to now is the Bivol versus Beterbiev fight, and I hear everybody saying Bivol is different. Bivol because he beat Canelo, right? Bivol is different. Listen, when Bivol start getting punched on like that, Bivol's gonna break too. Bivol will break because everybody who this guy fights, as long as he still has it, if Bivol fights him within the next year, Bivol's gonna break as well. Like, there's no way to fight this guy and stay in shape through 12 rounds. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Like, and Bivol, he's great. He's a great fighter, right? I like Bivol, but he don't punch nearly as hard to get this guy's respect. Bivol don't punch as hard as Anthony Yard, right? He doesn't. Are his punches more accurate? Is his footwork better? Yeah and yes, right? But he don't have the punching power that Anthony Yard had. And we saw Beterbiev was bluffing him. Beterbiev is going to force Bivol into the same types of fights that everybody else been in, right? Because there's nothing that Bivol has that's going to make him say, stay out. But here's the kicker. If he does have to stay out, like, we've seen him move. We've seen Beterbiev move, right? Really well. I thought he moved well in the Yard fight. He moved real good in the Yard fight. I'm here for it. That's the biggest fight in boxing. The Yard, Beterbiev versus Bivol is the biggest fight in boxing. Something else I'm gonna touch on real quick. I see a lot of the Errol Spence fanboy club, these Errol Spence motherfuckers out here, they're throwing shade at Terrence Crawford now because he hadn't signed anything, hasn't done anything, because he met with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy to talk business, right? Last I checked, Golden Boy, they got a killer over there named Virgil Ortiz, right? And Alexis Rocha almost knocked Blair Cobb's head off the last time he fought. So, I mean, they got a couple guys that are worthwhile over there, but the Errol Spence fanboys, I guess they're throwing shade. And it's not even real. It's not even true shade. This is why you can't really take it seriously, because it's not true shade. If it was true shade, that would imply that they really want that fight. But they don't. So it's just like, it's all like trolling, basically. That's basically all they're doing now. Saying, oh, look, he don't want the fight. I guess their plan was for Terrence Crawford to wait all last year until May, after May of this year, right, to fight Errol Spence. That ain't, like, he's not gonna let you age him out. He's not gonna let you beat him off of inactivity. He's not gonna do that. Like, you're just gonna have to beat him. Simple as that. So y'all can come with all the narratives and, I don't know. To me, that shit is childish. And I really don't have to tell Terrence or side with Terrence Crawford. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's making all the right moves. So, hey man, we'll see what happens. That's all I got though. If you like the video, jab your way in on that like button. Peace.